Our ground report tonight, and it comes from Manipur, which remains on the boil day after day. Fresh violence, remember, reported earlier this week in several districts of Manipur. The situation on the ground is grim. India Today's Ashutosh is bringing you daily reports on just how the people of the state are coping up with violence that has not ended for more than a year and a half. Take a look.
A state on boil, where two communities are at war. In Manipur, where the valley ends and the hills begin, starts the Kuki-controlled land. A long buffer zone demarcated by the central forces separating the Kukis and Metis. A fragile peace that is shattered at the slightest of provocation.
The periphery and the foothill areas remain vulnerable even after 1 year of the violence. Still there are firing. Cross-firing takes place from both the sides. I'm being escorted by one of the locals to the areas where there's a bunkers made. Even there are buffer zones on the main roads, but the rural areas, the villages or the farming land, there are bunkers made from both the sides, including by the Kukis and the Meiteis. And that's where they say protecting their land, their territory from any sort of aggression. And this has been happening for nearly a year now.
India Today went deep inside Kangpokpi district, where Kuki youth are holding fort.
How old are you?
Trenches and bunkers are in place. Young men with guns form the village defense forces. Most of them have dropped out of college after hostilities began.
So you were in college studying before the conflict?
Yeah, before the conflict, I used to go to college. After the conflict, I didn't go to college and defend my nation.
The volunteers are armed with communication sets, improvised guns, and bullets.
This is a Shaktiman, what do we call, iron, the steering rod.
और ये क्या है?
And this is a magazine, which we make.
It's a magazine.
Initially we used to put only one. We used to put, like this one. We used to put inside only one bullet. But now, instead of putting one each bullet inside this one, we used to make this magazine.
The Kukis have been accused of using drones and rocket-propelled grenades. They deny the charge, but admit using what they call Pompi guns.
We call it Pompi. Some used to call it cannon, but it's not RPG. I just want to clarify it. And secondly, this can't be in a long range.
Whenever the range of this?
Maximum 10 feet or at the most 12 feet.
Drones, they claim, are being used for surveillance only. Both Metis and Kuki communities have defense forces. And it's painful to see these youngsters with arms, especially when these guns are trained on the very poor people who 16 months ago were friends and neighbors.
For 16 months, armed, heavily armed, these young men from the hill area are protecting their land from the threat. This is concerning, alarming, and possibly requires attentions from the highest authority in this country. The situation in Manipur is alarming. In Kangpokpi with Ashutosh Mishra, bringing you this report for India Today.